Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 67 of Two Left Thumbs, your source of weekly gaming news and updates. In this week's episode, our first one back of the year, we're going to be talking about Assassin's Creed Ragnarok leaks. Wow, that was hard to get out. PS5 logo revealed. Xbox first party series, Xbox X Series XXX games. It's been a while. Won't be console exclusive for a while. Pokemon Sword and Shield is evolving, and the new Microsoft Xbox may support Steam and other third-party stores. As also we have all the weekly deals and across all the gaming platforms. Hi, I'm Deft Puppies, and I've forgotten how to podcast. Welcome back to the most brutally brutified, butchered intro ever. TikTok, cut. Joining me here is Grey Aussie Gamer. Dude, save me, please. How are you?
Holy Jesus, man. You sounded... You rehearsed it so well.
I know, right?
You bushed it live. What happened?
I have no idea.
That was really
no
good.
Idea.
I was actually looking at your screen to see if you're having a damn stroke.
I kind of feel like I was, man. It's like, we've been going, what, 3 weeks? 4 weeks since we actually podcasted last? I've forgotten how to do things. Yeah, it's been difficult.
That was funny. And see, that's why I don't like the new Xbox name. It's a clusterfuck.
It is. It's hard to... Alright, from here on out, we're going to state this here. For the rest of the year, we will be referring to it as the Series X and nothing else. Because I can't be fucked with... and then I'm writing as that now. It's happening. Because life is difficult.
Done.
No.
What happened over your break since the 3 weeks?
Oh, dude, I've been busy. So I've been doing a lot of preparation for moving because I'm moving to sunny Queensland to the warmer weather, which has been taking up most of my time. But I was lucky enough for Christmas to get a PlayStation. So yes, I'm in. No. No. So I started with Spider-Man, and I've finished that.
Nice.
I mean, I've finished the story. I'm gonna go back and do the collectibles because web slinging around that New York is fucking amazing.
How good do they make it feel?
Dude, it is so crispy. Like, there's a few moments where you like literally splat yourself in a wall. All of a sudden, you're running. You're like, okay, cool, whatever, game. But it felt really fucking good. It was a lot of fun. The story was solid. The boss fights got a little kind of rinse and repeat-ish. Like, the mechanics were kind of the same. But there was a good gallery of enemies for the first run round. Lots of little Easter eggs in there too, which I love because I'm a big comic book nerd. So watching like going around, oh, I know that, and oh, there's this and this, and I know who that person is. It was really, really cool.
It's good. Yeah,
it is. It's good. It is. And so I finished that the other day, and now I've started on God of War. I'm running through the roster now, man. All the exclusive, they're mine. I have them.
Banger.
Yeah, man. It's starting 2020 with a big fucking hit by playing all the good PlayStation games from last year and the year before.
Yeah, well, you're a multi-platform owner now. Welcome
exactly.
to the club. Welcome. Come on in.
I have
lots
all
of games
4.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's good. It's the best place to be because it gives you all the options and you can kind of pick and choose whatever you feel like. But man,
exactly,
the good part, like what you've getting a PlayStation for Christmas, is holy Christ, what a backlog that you get to go through.
Right.
And
I've got
pick and choose how you want to play. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've got a few lined up. I've got Horizon Zero Dawn. I've got the Uncharted collection. I've got something else. I got Spyro and something else.
You got The Last of Us yet?
Yeah, I already had The Last of Us before I had the PlayStation, so I'm gonna play that closer to Last of Us 2, so it's kind of fresh in my mind when I go through to the next story. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, really enjoying my time. The controller I'm not fighting as much with as I thought I would. I'm getting used to it, although when it tells me to press X and I hit circle, that I have an issue with it. Because my brain is just so wired to the Xbox controller. But
You can remap it.
You can?
In the set. Yeah, you
I
can
think
swap
that would
those.
confuse me more because I'd look down and go, wait, that's not right.
Yeah.
I just have it'll take some time. I dare say by the time I get through like God of War, I'll probably be fairly comfortable with the controls. It's mostly the triggers that mess me up, the triggers and the bumpers, because it's R1, L1, R2, L2, where it's I don't know, it's labeled differently on the Xbox controller, and I don't know why that messes with my head so much. It's the same thing, and it's pretty straightforward. It just messes with me pretty bad. Also managed to get some more time with Pokemon in just on the Switch when I was out and about doing some stuff, which was it's okay. The more I see people talk with no sound coming out, the more frustrated I get though. It's becoming an issue.
Right? How?
Yeah,
It's just
like they made the time to animate
man.
animate the faces and the mouths. Yeah, it's not bad animation either. It's pretty decent, but just no voice.
Yeah,
Whereas
I know it's so jarring. And when the first scene in that game where you walk into the stadium and you got the presenter and he's sitting there giving this the grand speech with the swelling music and everything, and it's fucking text. It's like,
right, you expect this like
it's so off-putting. Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, like this big announcer voice, just like read the text. I'm like,
it's so annoying, man.
Yeah. So enough about me. What have you been up to, man?
Not much gaming wise. We got out of here, went away for Christmas for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Went to the beach, just beach, loving it. And then we're back. So I had my Switch with me, and I finished off Final Fantasy 12. Was that? Yeah, Zodiac Age.
Yeah.
And I also got Dragon Quest 11, I think it is, which was a first for me. Never played the series before, but I heard how good it was, and I'm like, I was itching for a good, solid new RPG, like a refresh. Like the Zodiac Age came out at the end of the PlayStation 2.
Yeah,
so it's old, it's dated, but this one I picked it up, man. Fell in love with it straight away. It's a full JRPG, turn-based battle system, awesome animations, love it, and I'm still ticking through it. It's a whopping big game. Holy Christ! And
yeah. How many hours you got in there so far, you reckon?
Maybe 30, if that. I'm still early, but I'm still in the first part of the map, and then like the map is and it goes on for another like 20-30 times more than what I've just explored. So
yeah,
pretty tough.
Nice.
But the best part of this game, the one that I'm loving the most, and the one reason I hated Pokemon, like the feature I wanted in Pokemon, is at the start of the game, it gives you an option. It gives you, they're called draconian like modifiers. I don't know.
Yeah.
All it is hard mode. Effectively, you can tailor it to your suiting. And I was like, I like it, and so I switched on like harder enemies. I left off a lot of other things just because it was my first time playing it through, and man, so much better. Or like
just to be able to customize that experience and
but you've got even basic enemies. You have to think and strategically play. It's not just like Pokemon. You just sit there and you just push the button. It's like attack. I guess critical hit, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, this one, you stuff up, you cast the wrong spell, whatever, or you get a bit unlucky with RNG, you're dead. Start again, and you lose half your gold. Half your money goes every time. Half. That's like
insane. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. It's like you can crank it up to be punishing. That's really good. So.
And you've got the option to turn it down, but you just can't turn it back on if you turn it off. So. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
So it's really good. A feature I want in, especially turn-based games.
Yeah.
I love a good challenge in there. But yeah, that's about it. And here we are. We're back again. I've gone in on a certain game that's come out recently. Well, not recently. It actually came out a few fucking years ago, and that is Escape from Tarkov. You might have heard about it.
I've heard a lot about it. there's been quite a bit of talk in the Discord about it. A few number of players have been jumping in. I mean, I've seen it about, and I've seen a few people jumping on recently. So I think you mentioned that they had a fairly large update that improved a lot of the game. But yeah, a lot of people talking about it, and I still have a very vague idea on what it is. Being that you've been sinking some time into it, explain to us what
consumed by it.
Consumed. I apologize.
Yeah. Come on, get it right. I've lost my soul to it.
Tell us about it. How does the game work? Give us a overview.
All right, let's run this down. First off, the game is in a beta still. It came out in alpha 2017, and I do remember when it came out. I looked at it and I was like, it's just not polished. It's alpha. It's got a lot to go, long way to go. So I stayed away from it. But I do know a lot of people kind of picked up on it and stuck with it for a little bit. But over time, the devs have put in a massive amount of work, and I think it's only a small team. I don't think it's a huge dev team. Anyway, they've done a lot recently. Now, this is why everyone is talking about this game at the moment, is they had a thing set up with Twitch called Twitch Drops, something like that. It was an in-game thing that they had going on, and they timed it with their most recent large update. So that update it fixed a lot of things. It made the game a hell of a lot better. It's a lot smoother, plays really well, etc. So anyway, after it got brought up then in our Discord, I looked at the old footage and I went, that's crap. There's no way I'm going anywhere near this game. Turns out I was looking at the old stuff, checked out the new stuff, thought, why not? $70 Australian for the standard edition. In I go. So the game is a first-person shooter, but it is the most realistic, brutal game that I have played. It is the inventory management alone is a game, a standalone game.
Oh wow!
The combat mechanics, are so in depth. It's just mind-boggling when you get into it. When you first start it, there's no holds barred. They don't show you anything. There's no fucking tutorials. You got to work it out yourself. Get yourself a Sherpa, understand it, just figure it out, or read wiki page after wiki page to get an understanding of what the game is. So essentially, it is not a battle royale per se. You load up your own characters, so you take your own loot in, so you can pick your own guns. And when I say pick your own guns, there's hundreds, thousands of different combinations. It's ridiculous, and they're all based on real world weapons. So if you are a gun enthusiast, you are going to feel right at home with this game. Me, I have no idea what I am looking at. They are all the same to me. I don't use guns. I don't play with them. I don't care about them. So to me, a gun is machine gun, shotgun, sniper rifle. That's my gaming.
The very kind of base archetypes of weapons. Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. So the idea is to loot up. It's to loot your character. You're playing in this fictional city of Tarkov. In Tarkov, so it's separate maps. There's all different maps that you can go in. You'll spawn in random sides of the map. So there's sections where you'll spawn 2 characters you choose from. So stay with me here because it might get a bit convoluted, but it will make sense.
Right, I'm listening.
2 characters. One is a PMC. This is your main character. This is your own guy. This is the one that levels up. You've got all your upgrades, your skills, your hideout. Everything is connected to him. The other one is called a scav, like a scavenger. That is just a randomly generated AI. So you get randomly generated clothes, gun, everything, and it just puts you into the map. As the scav, your idea is you can go around. The other scavengers in the game that are computer controlled, AI controlled, will not shoot you. So you have a kind of slight advantage unless you shoot at them. Obviously, you shoot at them and you piss them off, they're all going to turn on you and kill you. The disadvantage to being a scav is that you're very well undergeared. You could be going up against extremely strong players, and the difference between having armor on, like say you got a helmet and an armor piece, chest piece, and your scav has just landed in with nothing really. He's just got his little vest, his hat, his cigarette, and that's it. You know, you're going to unload a clip into this other human character, the PMC character. They are literally going to fire one bullet at you, and you will die.
Oh,
that's how. Yeah, but the risk reward to that is that if you can kill them or you find them dead in the game world, you can loot their stuff and equip it and wear it, and then you can extract. So the idea is to get in. You start at one side of the map, get across the map, and extract from an unknown location. It'll give you 2 known locations. It'll give you a couple unknown locations. Ones that you don't know if they're going to be unlocked or open. It's just you've got to risk it to get there. And then your idea is you extract out of the map and you bring all your loot with you. You can either sell it, keep it. There's a full auction house, a flea market where you can do all types of crazy stuff. The hook is on your scav. There's really no risk because it's not your character.
Yeah.
Where the risk comes in is when you launch in as your PMC. So your PMC is decked out with the gear that you've got. You've bought it with your own money, in-game currency, no microtransactions, nothing like that. It's just all in-game stuff. So you say you've decked your character out, right? That's cost you maybe 150 grand. New guns, sights, silencers, you know, the whole setup. You're looking good. You're like, right, I'm going in. You spawn in on your PMC. A scav kills you in 5 seconds. You lose all of that stuff. It's gone.
Oh, wow. So anything you take in there, you're at risk of losing constantly.
Yeah.
Oh,
there is one
fun.
item box that you can put in that you have. It's only got 4 slots. So when I say inventory management is another game, it is a huge meta game in this. It is massive. It's mind-boggling how much there is to do. Just to give you an idea of the complexity of the game, you know, you'll pick up a gun. You're a right click. So this is PC only. I'd never see this working on a console. If they do, I have no idea how they would get it to the controls. I don't know how it would work. So you can right click on a weapon and go disassemble. And what it'll do is it'll break down every part to the firing pin. That's how in depth it goes. And you can build these guns. So if you remove the firing pin out of it, the gun doesn't work. That's how insane it is. So you can customize all of that. You can upgrade all of it. You can mix and match different parts as long as they are compatible. Ammo in the game is really in depth. I'm really struggling with the ammo, the economy of it, and trying to understand the difference between 556.37A-7B ammo and fucking XYZ ammo. You'll get magazines that'll be empty. You'll have to reload the bullets in them, and then you'll have to equip that from your inventory. You'll have to slap it on your vest if you want to do a reload in combat. If you've put that accidentally in your backpack, you won't reload the gun. You'll have to take it out of your backpack first to reload the gun. That's
wow. That's
the depth of it, man.
That's intense, man.
It is super intense. So a lot of fun. I'm really, really enjoying it. I love the direction of it. I think it's really fresh for a game, for especially first-person shooters. It feels really unique. Definitely pick it up.
Yeah, no, I think once I'm settled and stuff, and I'm back with an internet connection, I'll probably be looking into it. Even though I'm
prepare yourself.
I will. I mean, I'm crap at FPSs and games in general. Let's be honest, but I think it'd still be a good fun. I'll just go on suicide runs. So is this a multiplayer experience or just single player?
No. So you can team up. You can go in as up to 4 scavs. So you can get 4 teammates. You can all select the scavs. Now, another thing, the scav is only available every 30 minutes. It's on a countdown timer.
Yeah.
The reason being is that way people just don't use it as like a multiplayer shooter. Like you just no reward, no risk. Sorry, you just keep going in as the scav. It forces you to use your PMC, your actual main account character. So it's
Yeah.
really smart how they do that. So you go in as a scav. You might grab a little bit of loot because you can never normally carry much because you rarely will spawn in with a backpack or anything like that to store all your items. So you'll grab whatever you can. If you get out, and then you can sell it. Use that money to purchase stuff off the flea market or off the vendors and put that straight onto your character. You can also go in as a group of 5 PMCs. So 5 players can load in as one part. For the most part, it'll put you in the exact same area-ish.
Yep.
Sometimes it doesn't, and it will send you opposites, which is always interesting. And we've played a few multiplayer games together. It's rough. Like you've got to have a full legit comms, man. Yeah, it is crazy because the sound in the game is crucial. Like the audio cues from people walking, people breathing, the rustling of their backpack as it brushes up against a tree branch. Like these are cues that you need to learn and understand.
Oh, wow.
That's the complex. That's the depth that these other players are going up against, because there's some seasoned guys in here.
Yeah, I mean, it's been going since 2016. There'd be some people that would have been in the deep.
But there's a trick to that. So they wipe the servers every. I need to confirm, but I'm pretty sure it's between every 3 and 6 months or something. They wipe you lose everything you've got and reset back down to 0.
Okay, so it's like a season every few months or whatever, kind of, yeah. And it just kind of resets everyone back to the same kind of spot. Does the map change at all? Do you know of, or is it always just the same maps?
They do full updates to the maps. They'll open up new areas, close off different areas, change spawn locations. They do a fair bit. So the idea behind the wipes, though, is because if you're going up constantly, I mean, from what I've seen, there's no, it doesn't kind of discriminate or give you anything to use. Like you are going up, you could go up against a 5-man group of PMCs and you're a level 1. They could be all level 50. Like there's no matchmaking in that regard. It's just, it'll slap you together. You'll play with whoever you're playing against.
So it's more of a server based thing.
Yeah, which can be really rough because you can just go in, you're fresh as, like me the last few days, just learning the game, and you're literally walking along. You're quiet. You're creeping along, and then you sniper shot from somewhere, dead. You don't know how. You don't know where it came from. There's no kill cam. There's no nothing. You've just lost all your stuff. There you go, done. And then on top of that, you got to heal your character afterwards. So you're going to go buy healing packs to heal him, or you can let them sit there over time and they'll get their health back.
Fucking Jesus.
That's a lot of stuff. Bones. You can lose blood. You get shot in the stomach. There's dehydration. There's food.
Depending on the severity of the injury, does it take longer to heal, or is it just kind of a standard length of time?
It depends on what you use to heal. So there's I've already run into 10 to 15 different ways to heal yourself. Like, so if you break a bone, you've got to bandage it first. So your body is, so on the top left of your screen, there will be a silhouette of your body effectively. And what they've done is the developers have broken it down into different chunks, arms, torso, head, legs, whatnot. And each one of those has a health pool. So it might be 70 health on all of them. That will total to your total amount of health.
Right.
So a thing like you can get shot in the leg. You might get take 2 or 3 rounds to the leg. You'll lose all the HP in that leg, which makes it, you can't heal it. There is a way to heal it, but it's very late game type of stuff. For me, and my character, if someone shoots and breaks, shoots out my leg, that's it. I'm hobbling, and you hobble for the whole map. If you try and sprint, your character will scream. If you try and jump, if you take a slight fall, you'll scream. It is uber realistic. And then the other people can hear your screams, and then they know where you are.
That's nuts. I like it.
It is. Get amongst it. There's missions, there's vendors with some crazy cool missions that you got to do. They'll send you off. You've got to land in the maps and get to room 108 of this hotel. Get in there, get a key, get that key, get back out. Go to this car, open up the car with that key because the car was locked, and in the car will be a pocket watch that this guy has been looking for ages. Get that and extract out, and you got to do all that without dying. And then there's some that are multiple staged, and if you die anywhere in between on that quest, you'll have to restart.
Yep, that's moderately aggravating.
It's just crazy.
That's intense, man.
It is fucking crazy intense, man. It's hard to describe, like hard to compare it to another game. The speed of the game is super slow, dude. Like think of Call of Duty. If Call of Duty is at level 10, Escape from Tarkov is at 0.3. That's the speed that these two different games are played at. So it is really intense. It's a really fun game, really intense. And if you're into it, if you're into first-person shooters, I highly suggest go and check it out. Go check a stream because it's an interesting game to watch. This isn't Death Stranding. You can actually sit there and watch someone play this game and be invested in them. Dr. Lupo has got a mad series going on at the moment on his channel. Awesome to watch. He does crazy role plays as he gets into it, and it's really fun. And he's a pro at the game. He has a great understanding. So go check it out. And if you do, jump in the Discord and come do some raids with us because it's hell fun.
Yes, once I'm moved, you have to teach me the ways. We'll get in there and I'll shoot you guys in the back of the legs. I've heard the stories. Before we
go on, to tell everyone, Volley, I'm sorry if you're listening. Yeah, Volley, a teammate of ours, we were doing a raid the other day. It was downwind of me, taking fire, and he gave the incorrect intel and told me where he was and not the scav when I asked where the scav was. So I shot him thinking he was the scav. Whoops, sorry, mate. But you get no markers. Nothing tells you. Like if you're your teammate, you've got to remember what they look like and what they're wearing. Otherwise, you will think it's an enemy.
That sounds like fun, especially if you're doing scavenger runs. That's when you're getting like randomly generated.
Well, you can load in with some good stuff, but yeah, generally you load in with some pretty average stuff. But you're all different. You always look different, so it's hard to remember.
Hard to remember stuff. Like if it was a constant character, I can imagine it'd be a little easier. But
your PMC looks the same all the time.
Oh, PMC looks the same, right? It's just the scavs that look different. Right. Cool. Should we get into some deals?
I think so. This is going to be a big episode by the sound of it.
Yeah, we've got some interesting topics to kick us off this year, which is nice. I like it. So freebies this week, we'll be starting with the PlayStation. We have Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection, and Goat Simulator. For PSN deals, we have Monster Hunter World for $19.27 and Frostpunk Console Edition for $24.95. Gray, I'm still new to PlayStation.
Right, well, everyone knows Monster Hunter for $20. Go grab that. It's a great game. The one I'm really interested in for people to go check out is Frostpunk. I've played the PC version. I don't know how this would go on console. Frostpunk is a survival like city builder, but with a pretty unique twist. It's like crazy.
I think I remember you playing this one.
Yeah, I streamed it ages and ages ago, but it's got some really, really good dialogue and choices to make. This is from the same guys that did War of Mine and stuff like that. I don't know if people have played that, but yeah, awesome game. Go check it out. And yeah.
Cool. All right. Onto Xbox, we have Games with Gold. We've got Styx, Shards of Darkness, and Tekken 6. Deals with Gold, we forgot to do, so go look them up. I'm sure there's some interesting titles there. We're off to a good start, guys.
Next week, we'll
get them next week. For the Switch, we have Pokemon Sword and Shield Expansion Pass, which is something we'll be bringing up a little bit later, $45, and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX demo, which is a freebie. That is a title and a half.
That is actually the title of it too. I checked twice.
I know. I remember seeing something about that, and I was like, "Wow, that's a mouthful to get around." You can't even shorten it really. Like, I mean, you can, but if you went for initials, it's
MDRTX, MDRTDX,
D.
Moving on.
Moving on. Onto the Epic Store, we have Sundered, which is a chaotic hand-drawn Metroidvania where you resist or embrace Wow, hi, I'm still warming up. I should have done some warm-ups before this. Where you resist or embrace ancient eldritch powers, a challenging, unique take on a classic genre from the creators of Yoton, now with local co-op. Ta-da! So, if you have the Epic Store and you're into some freebies and you like Metroidvanias, maybe worth checking out. Alright, on to the news and updates this week, where we're starting with a lot of leaks and speculation to kind of start out the year, which is always good because it makes for good thought topics and stuff like that. So, our first one, we have some news about the new Assassin's Creed. I want new leaks. Sorry, I'll be more accurate. So the latest leak provided by an anonymous tipster citing connections with the game's development teams and summarized on Reddit. So he's cited people he knows, or what departments he knows people in, I'm assuming. Claims that players will be able to choose their gender for Ragnarok's main protagonist named Jorah, who leads a small band of fellow Vikings that allow for drop-in, drop-out online co-op with up to 4 different players. Some other notable points made. The rumor stated that the game's map is essentially all of Northern Europe, including cities such as York, Paris, and London. That dynamic large-scale wars will take place in real time across the open world. That the stealth has been radically overhauled, and that the game will be a cross-gen release for PC, Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5, with a supposed release in September, and an official reveal apparently coming hand-in-hand with the rumored PlayStation 5 meeting in February. So we should maybe hear more in February, but curious. Curious. Static in chat. Yes, I'm alright. And as far as all the agendas included, I think it's just the 2 for now. I think it's going to be very similar to what they did with Odyssey. Yeah, where you kind of get to choose the 2, but it's just the same name essentially, which makes things easier.
The day and age we're in.
Yeah, but the last time they did drop-in, drop-out co-op and multiplayer in an Assassin's Creed game was Unity, and we don't talk about Unity.
Unity definitely had some issues.
Yeah, it was it had I tried the multiplayer, the co-op stuff, and it was nightmarishly bad. Like, the connection was horrible, and I was playing someone literally in the same town as me with good internet. It was
it's
pretty gnarly.
Not their thing, but like,
no. I mean, they did good multiplayer with Brotherhood. Their multiplayer was fantastic. I loved it. It was different. And I don't know. So maybe they've learned, and maybe I think drop-in, drop-out co-op would be pretty cool. It'd be kind of akin to like Far Cry. I'm surely they'd be taking that kind of route, being it's Ubisoft.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't. I didn't do Odyssey. I skipped it. I like the single player Assassin's Creed. Yeah, that's my jam, man. I'm not too keen on the drop-in, drop-out stuff.
I'm sure
in general.
I'm sure it could be fun, like, for a little bit, but I couldn't see myself doing I don't think I could see myself doing a full playthrough. Because, I mean, Assassin's Creed is generally pretty meaty, especially now. They're really meaty games, man. There's a lot there. Especially if they're going the direction they have been. And that's a lot of time to commit with another person. Even if it's drop in, drop out, still, you wouldn't want to do a whole playthrough like that, surely.
And it's just like, I'm down for the Viking, the Viking setting. I think that is a cracker of a setting. But again, everyone that I know really wants the feudal Japan setting.
Yeah, but we have Ghost of Tsushima for that, so.
Yeah, I know, but you'd think these guys would have done it by now.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima is going to be, console exclusive to PS4. So, yeah, I don't know why they haven't. Let's see.
One day maybe the dream will happen and we'll get it, but they've always kind of avoided it, and I'm not sure why.
With the official reveal apparently happening at the PlayStation event, I seen it. I think literally just before we went live. There's pretty much the confirm for the 5th of February.
5th of February, there we go. So we should be hearing more about PS5.
Yeah, PlayStation 5 reveal is on the 5th of February, and the invites are going out like next week. We expect one.
Yes.
Hey, puppies.
PlayStation AU, if you're listening. We know you are, maybe. We don't know. Call us.
We're going to New York.
Going to New York. Speaking of the PlayStation 5, the new logo. Alright, I know, I was waiting for it. The new logo was revealed. So the company revealed the PlayStation 5 logo during its CES 2020 presentation last week on Monday, and it was exactly what everyone expected. To no surprise, it's PS with a 5.
It's just, yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's so weird this was even a thing. Like,
I know.
I understand why they did it. It's just, here you go. Here's the it's coming logo, and then that's, yeah.
I mean, I have you seen the memes floating around the internet?
Yeah,
People just replacing stuff, and like, here's the PlayStation 8 logo. Just an 8 next to it. Yeah.
But I saw a really good post on Twitter from a marketing person, whatever you want to call it. And he said it's brilliant. It's simple, effective, and people know what you're getting, and that's what you need in the logo. And he's like, Nintendo constantly screw up theirs, but due to the name Nintendo, they have
that name recognition. Yeah.
Microsoft have the worst labeling logo system.
They do. It's insane.
So they are just terrible. They can't get it right, and they keep going trying different things. And they've just dug themselves a hole that they're just committing to now. So
yeah,
it is what it is. It's a damn logo.
I just don't know why people like they did. I mean, I get it, but I don't know why people are expecting anything different. I'm pretty sure someone would have mocked this up previous to the thing and gone, hey, here's the PlayStation 5 logo leaked, and they would have been like 90% accurate, 98% accurate. Yeah. So yeah, that was all that one was. PlayStation 5 logo. Woo! More on PlayStation 5 on February 5th, apparently. So look out for that. So first party Series X games. Speaking of shitty naming, Microsoft.
Well done. Yeah.
Won't be console exclusive for a while. So first party Series X games won't be exclusive for the first year or two, which has been kind of summarized from a interview with Xbox Game Studio, the head of Xbox Game Studios. He was speaking to the website MCVUK, which I've never heard of before, but sure. Matt Booty, excellent name, Matt. Thank you so much for that. Confirmed that what many have been assuming, that Microsoft's games will be both forwards and backwards compatible, is mostly what's going to be happening. It's a reasonably large departure from how newer consoles launches. Normally they have like one or two that are, here's what's this is the launch game for the Xbox. So Xbox One came in 2013 with first party published games like Forza Motorsports 5, Rise Son of Rome, and those didn't go to the Xbox 360. They stayed on the Xbox One. The idea being that people who wanted to play the latest Microsoft games need the latest Microsoft console, but now that Microsoft are moving towards this multiple stage of entry thing, where you can buy whichever console you want and still kind of get most of what you want out of it. That's kind of where they're going with it.
I hard disagree. I don't like this. I'd rather, as you already know, as we've already spoken about before, but and it's the new gen, it's the next gen. You got your new shiny console there. You want something that belongs on that and is only on that. It makes it feel unique. It makes it like you want it then. Having it go back to how far back over they're going to.
I think it's just
Xbox
the previous. No, so it'll be
the X or the S.
It'll just be all the Xboxes, so include Xbox One.
See, now that shits me. So you're telling me Halo Infinite needs to run on the original Xbox, the one that can't even get a fucking 900p half the time, and it's also going to release on the Series X.
Yep.
And all the rest of them.
Look at it. All right, so I understand your point. I do. But look at this, say, from the PC market, right? So if every time a new game came out, everyone had to buy a new graphics card just for that game, like, it wouldn't be able to play. I mean, you can, like, at the moment, you can still play on whatever, most, like, there's a bottom out, like, there's a hard line of minimum specs that you can't really play the game on that won't be any good. But you can play it on basically anything from there up. Your experience will vary. So I think that's the angle they're going for. If you want the best of the best, you go out and you buy the better console. If you can only afford, or you only have the middle line or the bottom of the line, you can still experience that game, but you know the quality is not going to be as good.
I understand, and that's the thing everyone keeps harping back to, is that you can just scale it to go to here, go to there, you the best payment, like what you just said. The thing a lot of people are skipping over, though, is it's the damn dev time for people to go, like, someone needs to code the thing to work on the older systems. They need to button map it to work. They need to do everything to make it work and be stable, because they can't sell just an inferior product that's just not going to work. Otherwise, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Think of all that development time. That is shitloads. Imagine if all of that was just on the Series X. Take the power of that, the development time, everything, and just concentrate, laser focus on that. It is why fucking PlayStation's first party games are so damn good. It's because that's what they do. They just focus on it. They let their first party teams just, this is it, laser in and off they go. I understand where Xbox or where Microsoft are coming with, like, it makes sense. I get it. I just don't like it as a hardcore gamer.
Fair enough. It's already happening on PC though. I mean, I'm going back to the PC thing. It's already happening with nearly every game that's on PC. You've got the variable of settings, so they're there and they're easy enough to, like, the development time so wouldn't be as much as developing two entirely separate games.
Yeah, but PC market is like, it's the size of a fucking ant-man. It's tiny compared to the console market.
Yeah, but that's where Microsoft are heading too. They want to break into that. They want to get those games. Like, they want to kind of have it so they can have anyone use their service. They don't want to become just a console maker. Sure, they'll make consoles so people can still buy them again, but they're doing it so anyone can get in, and it doesn't matter where you get in. You can still get in. If you want the best, you get the best. And I understand where you're coming from as well. Making a game specifically for that console and focusing on that generally does get you better games, and that's why at the end of the generation is when we see some of the best games come out on the console. I think we were speaking about this in our Discord, which you should totally join for interesting game conversations. And like, yes. I think you started Bloodborne was it Bloodborne? It was one of the early ones that did really well. That things that you couldn't have done on the previous console, and it's not going to be all of them. It's just that they're going to try and avoid it if they can. And later on in the console's life, there'll be ones that will be exclusive to that title, I think, or to that particular machine, possibly. But earlier on the cycle, the devs haven't fully figured out the architecture of the systems. They don't know how to take full advantage of that until later in the life cycle, or they start doing that at the start of the life cycle, and that's when you get those games at the end that are better.
I understand. Yeah, I get you. I
think as long as
the
dancers
whole
and
won't get the whole won't get the full power thing like what we saw, especially this generation. You know,
yeah,
I don't think that'll be that prominent this time, just because they are the PS4 and the Xbox One. Yeah, Xbox One X, whatever. They're PC units. That's what's in them. So it shouldn't be they're not going from that cell architecture that like they did last time and whatnot. It's all going to be. It should be a lot smoother, a smoother upgrade. You would think.
Hopefully, yeah. As long as Dan said, as long as the game isn't suffering for it, like if they can still make a good game that runs well and is optimized well, it should be fine.
Yeah. Well, you'd hope so.
You'd hope so.
You'd butcher it if you didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see what the clear-cut difference is between, say, Hellblade 2 on Series
definitely.
X. Yeah, PC to Series X to Xbox One.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see some of those comparison videos.
Yeah, that'd be quite good to watch.
Yeah, it would be.
Cool.
Onwards. Speaking of seeing how things are going, Pokemon's Sword and Shield is evolving. So for the first time in the franchise's history, Game Freak will be releasing an expansion pass to one of its mainline Pokemon games with 2 new downloadable packs for Pokemon Sword and Shield. The pass will feature 2 new zones called the Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra. Game Freak and Nintendo will release them as separate downloadable packs in June 2020 and later this fall, respectively. Both zones will include new story content, non-playable characters, as well as Pokemon to catch, including a significant number of Pokemon that were missing from the game at launch. I wonder where they got this idea. There'll also be new and returning legendary Pokemon for players to find, and if you don't buy the expansion pass, you'll still be able to trade for all the new creatures that Game Freak adds into the game, because they plan on releasing like a free version of the update as well. So there'll be some like base improvements with the game and additions on top of the 2 expansion packs.
This is gonna be interesting to see how the community responds, because normally what do they normally do? They release
an entirely new game. It's like an ultra version or something. It's an entirely new game. This is just a DLC essentially. And I mean, Nintendo have been doing that a little bit more lately. They've been kind of willing to add content as downloadable. I think they're just kind of starting to get into that now.
I'm down with it. I'm down with it.
I like it.
This is a better way of doing it than. But I'm again going back to making Game Freak redo an entire new game. Surely, obviously, they're going to be reusing a lot of the assets, but that's just a lot of time, man.
It is, yeah.
Like, man, doing this way is obviously a hell of a lot smarter, and you can, thanks to the Switch, you can do it. Like, they can push updates, they can push patches, whatnot. It's a much
exactly
more console than the 3DS that they were used to.
Yeah, the handheld systems were always kind of unreliable to get updates out to, because you don't know when people are going to update and all that kind of stuff. Where the Switch is like people generally have it in their home, generally. But this will be interesting. I'm really hoping that they can add a downloadable voice pack for their characters, Nintendo. But yeah, this is cool. I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm still on it just early in Sword and Shield myself at the moment, but
take your time, man. Take your time.
Yeah, I've got plenty of time.
Pretty quick.
I'm interested to see where this goes and how Nintendo does their take on it and what's added. But from what I'm seeing, doesn't look too bad for a DLC. As long as the zones are pretty robust.
This would mean we won't be getting the next Pokemon until presumably next year.
Yeah, that's even if they do one.
Yeah, they'd have to.
They have to do a new region, unless they just start tabbing on regions.
Hey.
Surely they wouldn't, though.
They've done one every year. Surely they're going to whack one out in the second year.
Maybe. See what happens. It'll be interesting. Maybe Game Freak are changing
Game
the way they
Freak.
do things.
Good. Fucking
Yeah.
damn right. Hurry up. Make it proper open world.
Pokemon.
And
We all
voices,
want it.
damn
We
it.
all
And
need
make
it.
it more difficult.
Difficulty
Streaming
sliders.
Yeah. Yes.
So our next story, we're jumping back into some Microsoft news. It's not news. This is very much rumored, but it was interesting nonetheless to put on there. So, according to rumors circulating among supposed insiders in the Xbox community, there's suggestions that the Series X may feature a Windows mode that enables players to switch between the console's operating system and Windows 10, which could give you access to Steam and Epic Games store platforms. If true, you could essentially turn the console into a PC, which it pretty well is already going by the architecture, to gain access to a whole library of games you might not have otherwise had to play on the Xbox. Is this where we get the Steam and Epic apps? Along with our Netflix and Stan accounts and Disney Plus?
This is 1000% bullshit. It has to be.
You reckon?
Yeah, they're just cannibalizing themselves. You don't do that to your same. I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, they're going in a different direction, man. They want to lean into that PC side of things. It may be bullshit for now, but
if this is true, then this is the last console Xbox will do.
Yeah,
it'll be Game Pass for everything. They'll get Game Pass on PlayStation, fucking Switch,
Nintendo. It'll go to Nintendo first. So we get Game Pass on Nintendo. Once they get their Play Anywhere kind of thing going and their xCloud up and running, and you're able to play games on your phone with a controller or whatever whatever input you want, through streaming. Why bother with the consoles anymore? You just net that market on selling Game Pass to everyone, adding games, and sure, make hardware for people to buy in if they want to. I like the Series X is similar to, as in a small pre-built PC that's moderately affordable for most people, and then lots of third-party, controllers, headsets, keyboards, mice, all that kind of crap, all your input devices and stuff.
I'm pretty guaranteed that this is not. This has got to be bullshit. Has to be.
You reckon?
I'm damn sure of it. Yeah, they wouldn't do this.
I'm skeptical,
it
but
make sense when you think about it.
If it happened, I wouldn't be surprised.
Also, to change that console to make it accommodate to run an OS as well, like a full fucking Windows 10 operating system, yeah, that's going to take some toll.
Yeah, maybe. Unless it's based Windows 10 operating system already, so it works similar to the tablets and stuff too.
Could be.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a very base version, but you could get Steam and Epic on there.
Yeah,
as a start. It would be such a weird world if and when it happens. That's what they're pushing for though. They don't make the money on the consoles; they make money on the software and the games.
Honestly, it makes 100. The more you think about it, the more this seems like this is the last Xbox we see.
Yeah,
because they've got such a good where they're going with just making it Game Pass. It's not like they're just going to stop making games. It'll still be Microsoft, it'll still be Xbox, but it'll just be going to Game Pass and them still doing it. So it's like they can still be everywhere. They can still do their ads. They can still go to E3. They can still do literally everything. They just will not have a home unit.
Yeah, it's like you can and that's. They're going for the Play Anywhere thing. They might still make units too, just basic ones, like I said, that are easy for lounge room use and the general consumer.
Imagine if you were Sony and Microsoft came up to you and said, "Look, we want to put Game Pass on your system, so we want you to help us sell Game Pass." Obviously, you get a cut.
Yeah.
Right? You'd be crazy not to take that.
Exactly, right? I reckon that's where they're going, man. I've been speaking this for about a year and a half now, but I reckon that's where they're going. They're going to be everywhere in the next 5 to 10 years.
Could be. It's going to be an interesting year for fucking games. I want to know when Series X. I'm pretty sure everyone's pretty confident now that we're going to find out what the PlayStation 5 is
Next
sometime in
month.
February. But
yeah,
no, Microsoft have not really shown off a great deal of the Xbox. The next one.
Oh, well, even I think
a pre-render, and AMD gave us a render that wrong. They got
that was wrong. Yeah.
And we've had no confirmation of specs. Just rumored specs. That's it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they're sitting on, because I mean, everyone seems fairly confident until the internet starts making fun of them. But, yeah, they've been quiet, which is weird, because normally Microsoft are pretty boasty about what they've got going on under the hood with the new console.
Yeah, but you don't want to be first. No one ever wants to be first.
Yeah, they're waiting for play. It'll come out like 3 days after PlayStation announces. They'll just do like they've got it ready. They're just
powerful console.
World
Don't
premiere.
Play the B-roll. World's second most powerful console. Nice.
Oh dear. So we have a question this week. We're famous. So this is from Static. He left this in our Discord. We have a little section in there for people to ask questions for us to answer on the cast. So he wants to know, how is it that we as gamers, and I'm suspecting this was brought up by the conversation of Tarkov over the last week or so, can get so upset about games being released unfinished, but be okay for paying for a game that is still in beta or early access after 2 years or even longer. Is this not a double standard that shows developers it's okay to build a complete game? It's not okay to build a complete game before asking us for money.
Solid question. I like it.
It's so let's.
I've got a simple answer for that, and I think the difference being is that when a game is, so take Tarkov for an example, it is beta still. When you go to purchase it, you are blatantly told, literally with red things flashing in your face, this is warning, this is a beta, there's all these going to be, these are some of the issues you can run into, etc. Here's how you report the bugs. This is us doing our best to keep up with them, whatnot. Do you want to buy? That, to me, is what the beta is. Obviously, you're going into it knowing. If I pick up a new release, say AAA game, whatever that's come out, here's your finished product, and it's just, completely unfinished or not polished, or it's got bugs in it, and it's like, that feels a lot worse because you've been told this is a finished product. So you're expecting a solid experience, regardless if you enjoyed the game or not, but you're expecting a good performing game. Game looks what it was supposed to be like compared to the beta. When you buy a new game that's retail and completed, when you install it, it doesn't flash up with, be warned, you might get bugs, performance issues, all this stuff. Because if it did, you would want your money back. So I think that's the difference between buying into a beta.
The buying into the beta is weird because it could very well. I mean, Kickstarter's a good example of this as well. Where you're going in and you put up money for a game, for a developer to help them develop the game. And I know this happens with a lot of smaller independent developers. It's mostly those that have like the buy-in betas or the Kickstarters. It could be very temporary. Like they could just decide to shut the game down and then they've taken your money.
Yeah, I think it's
I mean, then again, that happens with AAA games too now too. If it doesn't sell well, like look at what was it? What's the one I'm thinking of?
Paladins.
Was it Paladins? And there was another one that
Battleborn.
Battleborn, yeah. Year and a half, they shut it down. Everyone who paid full price for a game. Tough. Sorry. I mean, it's an interesting. I mean, it's an interesting thing because, I mean, he's right. I mean, is it encouraging people to go, oh, well, it's a live service. We'll finish it later. You know, it's okay. You're buying into a live service, and that's part and parcel of what this is now.
Also, these types of things are only available on PC, aren't they? You can't, like, Xbox Store and PSN Store don't have the early, like, pay
The
for
early
the
access thing. I think it's only with mostly with like PC. A lot with Steam. There's a lot of kind of early access ones.
Yeah, because a lot of them, like, granted, are trash, and I think every time if you go to buy into these things, you just, you know, it's up to you. You got to do your own research and be prepared to lose that investment.
Yeah, it depends on what experience you're going to get from the game too.
Then again, the biggest game in the world, Fortnite, is still in fucking beta.
Yeah, but it's different though, because I mean, it's free to play, but there are, like, people are still putting money into it. So
yes, which they could if they wanted to turn it off.
Oh yeah, they could. So I mean, their Save the World part, which was the original part of Fortnite, still is. I can't remember. You had to pay $30 for that. For the PvE aspect originally, but the multiplayer, the BR mode that everyone knows now, is free to play. But there's still people pouring thousands of dollars into skins and stuff, so you're still kind of paying for the game. In the long term, you're still putting down money on this game that is in beta. And you could lose, like, again, it's all cosmetic, but you could lose all that for... They just go, you know, beta's not working out, shutting it down. I mean, it's Fortnite, they never will. But Fortnite is constantly in beta and has been ever since the start. Again, free to play, but people are still putting money into it. A lot.
Also, with Escape from Tarkov, I don't think it's far off from exiting out of the beta. So then I think they've got a Steam release, I think. They want to get it on Steam. You'd be crazy not to. But then you'd have to think it's obviously going to go up to full price. So the beta's
like
not
$120.
Yeah.
So it's a discount, because there's different editions of Tarkov 2, isn't there? There's like a few different price ranges.
Yeah.
So it's essentially.
But it's also, like, you got to look at it as well. Funding this small development team.
Yeah.
To continue to do the game. And if a dev team is stuck with a game for that long already, for 2-3 years now, you know they're there for the long haul. And I think all it takes is one quick look, go through their forums, you know, check them out on Twitter, their socials and stuff like that, and you might be able to see their feedback and how they interact with the community and that. And if they're upfront and they're constantly, I don't have any issue with backing them, giving them the money to jump in and play the game.
Yeah. Is this? Do you think this will influence, or has it influenced the AAA game market into going, well, you know, they're paying for these betas quite happily. Maybe we can get away with the same.
No, because you had, like, Breakpoint just came out last year and tanked. And Ubisoft went and cancelled all their other games, or not cancelled them, you know, shifted them all back to go back to the drawing board. I mean, that would have cost them an unknown amount of money. If they were happy with the substandard, like something like that, they just would have released it and fixed it later.
Okay. Oh no. So since Static is actually in chat here with us. So he says, I don't think anyone should be okay with this, especially if they've complained about bad launches to a AAA game.
What's that, sorry?
So I don't think anyone should be okay with, like, paying for a beta if they're already paying for crappy AAA games that have come out bad. I don't know, it's different, because again, if something's telling you we are very much in beta, things are going to go wrong, things aren't great, there will be a full release eventually, and you're getting it at what seems to be a discounted price. Whereas with a finished game, you're going, here's a full thing, this is ready to go,
Yeah,
It's
there's
it,
a
it,
difference.
there is a difference there. I
You're
think.
you're giving off your final product. So your final product is what you're happy with. You want your customers to buy. Your reputation is on the line for it. That's what you're releasing, and you're expecting full price pay for it. So it comes with it. You're expecting it to work and to work as advertised. When you're going into something like this, that it is openly called a beta and it is openly said you're going to have these issues. You potentially could have these issues. Then that's fine. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy in. You can easily sit back and watch until it releases and then make up your mind. Just think you're just getting a shot at it early if you want to get into it early.
So it's
That's how I see
it's
it.
that early access. I was in here. It's a badge of honor, almost. It's like I was in here before the full release. I was in here helping develop this game.
Well, when you open up this game, it's got bug. This is like big letters. This is how you please report your bugs. This is how you do it. And it's a pretty simple process and whatnot. And they're onto it. I mean, if I was interested in another early access beta, I did the same thing I did with this. Is I looked into it first. I made a pretty educated decision on it that looked into their community management and what they were doing and their engagement and all that other stuff. They haven't got a big track record because they're an extremely small company, so there's not much to really go off. But when you get into their forums and that, it's like, oh wow, you guys are right here. Like, you're in it.
They're invested in the game.
Yeah, you're here. Like, obviously, this makes sense. You love what you're doing. You got some passion here for it. I'm going to back you to do it, and now I get to get into the game earlier with maybe the bugs. Is what it is.
Yeah.
That's what as opposed to a AAA game getting released and the publisher for some reason decides to embargo the review copies or review codes until a day or two after release, and it turns out it's a bug infested shithole and you just paid full price for it.
Yeah, you're paying for something.
That's shit.
You're going in expecting a beta versus going in expecting a published game. I mean, if the AAA industry just starts releasing betas, things are going to get sketchy real fast. I mean, I don't think it'll happen.
If they did that,
surely they wouldn't.
I don't think that they would be making that. Surely not. If that's the way if that's the way these bigger publishers, then they would want to do it.
I think it'd cost too much for server. With smaller developers, I think is alright because you can look into it. But I think if AAA, if this did influence the AAA market, I don't think people would be okay with it. Because these are big companies. They've been releasing games for years. They have teams and teams and teams of people. They should know what they're doing. Whereas a smaller game with an independent developer, go, okay guys, things are going to be dodgy. Help us out here. You help us. We get you in the game early. There's kind of an exchange of services there, I guess. Like, you help us, you scratch our back and we'll scratch yours, But, guys, let us know. The question, hit us up on Twitter or on Discord. Let's keep that one going and give us your feedback on that. What do you think? Do you think it'll influence the AAA industry, or how it will, if it will? Let's chat about it, because it's an interesting question, because there's no clear-cut answer to this. So we'd love to hear your opinions on it. So
solid question, Mr. Staticos.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that. It was good.
P.S. Go buy Tarkov and get in there. I need a hand.
We're now a Tarkov podcast.
Tarkov stream. Tarkov podcast.
Yeah, it's all over now. Anyway, with that, I think we'll leave it there for this week. I think
that's a big episode. First one back.
It's a chunky one. So I have to remember how to sign off. Let me just
it's down the bottom, isn't it?
Kind of. Alright, guys, thank you so much for listening. Gray, where can they find you?
You can find me over on the Twitter at GreyAussieGamer and YouTube for GreyAussieGamer as well. Yourself?
You can find me, Twitter, Mixer, Instagram, deft_puppies. If you would like. What's that? Tinder? Oh no, just...
Tinder.
Oh, and OnlyFans as well. I'm going to add that in next week. Get some lewds. Yeah, no. If you would like to find the podcast, you can find us on Twitter at @left_pod. You can also join our Discord. Links are in the description. You can also find us on YouTube. Again, link in description because we still don't have a custom yet. We'll get there eventually. We're working towards it. You can find all our episodes archived there if you do ever want to see our beautiful faces discussing the beautiful games and some of the not so beautiful games that happen. You can find us every-ish Sunday night, 9 p.m. AEST on Mixer at mixer.com/deft_puppies. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. It's good to be back. And
It is.
I guess we'll see you next week.
See
Thanks
you
for
next
listening.